We're going to start our lesson today on cats, and I'm going to plan first where I want my cat to be. The first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I leave enough room at the top here so that I have a little negative space behind my ears. So I'm going to put my cat right around here. And then I'm going to do a body here, so if you visualize with me. And then I need to leave room for my long tail here. That's why I'm not putting it exactly in the middle. I'm offsetting it a little bit so that I have room for tail. I'm going to start off by finding out where the center point is on my paper, which is right down here. And then I'm going to look at the top of the page. So I'm going to go from top to center, and then I'm going to find the halfway point. And at this point, I'm going to put a tiny line. This is going to become the nose of the cat right here. From there, I'm going to draw a little tiny C, and then I'm going to do a backwards letter C. In the middle of both of that, I'm going to put a number 1. And then I'm going to connect these edges together. Below that, I'm going to put a number 1. And then I'm just going to come down at a diagonal to the left, down, diagonal to the right. Then between the two of these, I'm just going to go down very small, and over and connect. That forms the chin of the cat. The next step, I'm going to jump over from the chin, and I'm going to make a letter C, not exactly touching here, the nose, just here, and one on the other side, a backwards letter C on this side. Above the nose, I'm going to jump up just a little bit, a finger space, and on each side of my fingers, I'm going to draw a small circle. And if you notice, it's almost above this letter C. Above the letter C, just a small circle. Real small. If I color it in, it's just a little bit bigger than a dot. Now if I color it in, that's going to become the pupil of the eye. Then I'm going to draw a circle around that, a circle around this, and it's going to look like a donut. The next step I'm going to pretend it's like a slide. I'm touching the top of the donut, I'm sliding down. I'm going to do down on both sides. Touch the top of the donut, down on both sides. Then I'm going to touch the bottom of the donut, bring it up, and bring it up. Notice I'm not touching the ends of this. This is forming the upper lid of the cat. So I'm not touching the end of it, I'm just bringing it up. Bringing it up to meet the upper lid on both sides. Now that I have my facial features put in, and I start with the facial features because that's important, and I want to know where they're going on my page, and I want to make sure I have enough room for them. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to just outline where I want the top of my head to go. I'm just going to put one little line here. That's going to say this is the end of my cat. You can extend it to almost the middle of these eyes here. So I'm measuring down to the middle of the eyes. Then I'm going to round this, and I'm going to hug it as close as I can to the cheeks. These are the cheeks of the cat. So I'm going to hug as close to the eye as I can and come on down. You know, notice I've left a little bit of space here. And in the cheek area, I'm just going to put a row of 4 dots right in here. These are just teeny tiny, and this is where I'll do 3 of them here. This is where the whiskers come out of the cat. And at this time, if you're drawing with a black pen, if you want to add just delicate whiskers, you can. Now I'm using a pen that's waterproof, so that if I paint over this, it's not going to smudge. So I'm adding 3 on each side. If you want to put another little one in up in here, I think mine needs to be a little bit higher. Now I'm going to stick my ears in. And the ears, I'm just going to go up a little bit. Then I'm going to round. This is diagonally up toward the edge of my page. And then I'm going to round back down. Now, if you make smaller ears, too big of an ears, you can always change these later as you're painting. Up, over, and down. Because I'm going to add some fur texture to this. And a little bit of hair inside the ears. Just a little bit of texture. Now, I'm not making number 1s. I'm making it in a diagonal, and I'm kind of curving and flicking out. So it's like a natural growing hair. The next step is to do your body of your cat. I'm going to give a guideline first. So I'm looking at the end of my page, right here. Then I'm looking at the chin. And I'm going to divide this space about in half. So right in here, I'm going to add a little tiny line. And then I'm going to just lightly do a little sketch. I'm going to do it up, up, come off the head, down, down, on both sides. Down, just kind of a light curve, just to give a little bit of texture of fur. And then I'm going to draw 2 straight lines coming down, and they're going to be diagonal. Center of this it kind of forms a circle. So I'm going to come from the center here, and I'm just going to come down lightly and down on the other side. It's a slight V out. And then I'm going to put in a slight curve line. This is forming little ovals at the bottom, and these will be the cat paws right in here. And then I'm going to just bring this up to connect. Up, and then out a little bit. I flare out a little bit. This is not exactly a straight line, if you notice. I'm flaring out from here. And this is all going to be covered with fur. Now this is going to be the back of the cat. He's sitting down, so I'm going to come at a diagonal. Let's get our guideline in here first. I'm going to come out horizontally and up a little bit. This is the width of the bottom of the cat. Now I'm just going to connect this with a slight curve. So I go down and around like a C-shaped curve. Off of this is where I'm going to put my tail. Now you can choose if you want your tail up. Now this is a lot of negative space here. So if you want to fill in this area, you can. So I'm going to come out, up and around, or you might want your tail coming down here. I want mine up here because I want to fill in this negative space. So I'm coming up, out, and around. Now once your cat's finished, you can go ahead and add some texture to him. And I'm just going to paint in, and I'm painting in slight curves. This is going to be a white chest on the cat, and I'm just going to outline the fur with some brown, and I can use browns and tans. It's kind of like a backwards C-shaped curve, and I'm kind of curving this to the right to give the fur. I use my brush strokes in the way the cat's hair grows. So this comes off his back down here, so I can have it growing like this, coming off the back. Now I'm getting some lighter tan in. I can take my darker brush now and just kind of outline my pen marks in here as I put in my tans, and I can mix with the tan and the brown. I want to get my paws in here. So I'm just kind of filling in my cat with some lighter color first. Now you can use any color. You don't have to use natural cat colors. You can use any color to be imaginative. I'm going to fill in my cat tail with some tan right now. And my brush strokes are going in the direction the way the hair grows and flows. I'm going to leave his chest white, like I said. I'm going to give him a little bit of tan on his face. I'm going to leave a little bit of white in here. Give him a little tan chin. Tan on his ears. I'm going to give him some more tan down here. Now I'm going to take a darker value and just give some more texture here for the body. And you can finish up putting in your fur textures, the way the cat's hair grows and flows. The longer the lines you put, the longer the hair lines are going to be on the cat. And there you have your cat. You can put a little pink nose in, whatever color you'd like.